Good afternoon. The Calgary Police Service is currently investigating a domestic-related shooting in the northeast community of Martindale. Investigators continue to search for a 52-year-old man believed responsible for the incident, which occurred at approximately 12:45 this morning on August the 20th. Warrants for the man's arrest are currently being sought, and a search for his whereabouts continues with the assistance of several areas of the police service. The victim in this case, a 58-year-old woman, was taken to hospital where she remains in stable condition. Detectives believe the woman ran from her house in the 600 block of Martindale Boulevard Northeast and was allegedly shot by the suspect while in the front yard. Several neighbors who heard the shots called 911, and emergency crews were immediately dispatched to the area. Despite the quick response, the offender had already fled the area before officers arrived. The suspect had been charged on Tuesday, August 7, 2012, with the domestic-related incident at the home, and as part of that release, conditions were ordered to have no contact with the alleged victim. Despite the order, he was arrested again on Sunday, August the 12th, 2012, after breaching the conditions by entering the victim's home and making contact with her. I'm open to any questions you may have.
Can you just he shot her when she was running in front of the house?
The altercation actually stemmed from inside the house, which then transferred to outside the house, where the two of them got it to a little further out on the front lawn. And from there, the offender fled on foot, and then the victim made her way across the street to call 911.
What charges is he facing?
Detectives are currently reviewing this, and they're looking at a minimum of 2 charges for now: aggravated assault and assault with a weapon. There'll probably be more weapons-related charges in the future.
So she was shot outside of the front yard, right?
Yes.
How many times?
We know of 3 for sure. There were 3 rounds that the victim was shot once in the stomach and twice in the leg, and there was actually a 4th round, and we know that that had missed the victim.
Would it be attempted murder too, or no?
Well, charges of that severity would be reviewed, and it would be under Crown's consultation to direct our detectives to proceed in that direction.
And to clarify, when you say she was shot in the front yard, were they together at that time and he shot at her, or was she running away while she got shot?
That's the best direction that we have so far. Remember that the victim wasn't able to speak to us until she was out of surgery this morning, and what we're able to clarify at this point is that the altercation did occur and finalized on the front yard where the shots were fired, and they were close proximity with one another.
So just to clarify, so she was shot on the front yard and neighbors heard the gunshots, or she went for help to neighbors?
Well, we're trying to piece that together as well, and if you can just imagine the complexity of this, we've had reports from neighbors on the 911 phone line, and of course that added to the victim struggling across the street to a neighbor. That's where the Calgary Police Service started their response.
Okay, but so, because originally we had thought that maybe she went to a neighbor's house, but we don't know. Was she found on the lawn when police got there?
I'm not sure exactly.
What is the relationship between these two people? Are they husband and wife, ex-husband, ex-wife?
They've been together for 6 years, and as far as we know, they're a common law relationship. He was not living in the residence at the time. He had been out for approximately 2 weeks.
Earlier incidents this month, can you speak to it? Police were called there often on domestic calls?
Well, I can tell you that the Calgary Police Service responded on the 7th of August, where we entered into an investigation for common assault. And subsequent to that, he was arrested, and he was brought before a justice of the peace, and he was released with a recognizance. Part of that release, he was not supposed to connect or contact the victim or go back to that home. And then on August the 12th, he had gotten back to the home in some way, and through that incident, he was breached twice for 2 separate conditions, and also charged with forcing his way through into her home.
No other incidents shortly any time before that one on the 7th?
No.
Is he well known to the police?
No, I can't say that he was well known to us. We responded on 2 occasions and laid charges as a result of both those occasions.
On August 12th, after he was arrested and charged again, was he released immediately after that?
Warrants were issued for his arrest shortly after that incident, and it was only until the next day, on August 13th, he turned himself in at the arrest processing area, court services section downtown.
And was he released immediately after that?
He was released on the same day. I can't tell you if it was short time or hours later, but he was released on the 13th.
Does he have a firearm license to him?
I can tell you we've done a thorough search and there is no firearm that's registered to this man.
Do you have any idea when you think the warrant will be issued?
For today's offense, we're hoping for later this afternoon or early this evening, we'll have the warrant completely ready and brought before Justice of the Peace.
Did you find a firearm, or do you think he's still armed?
At this point, the firearm has not been located, and we believe that he is still at large. So we've coordinated a tremendous amount of effort this morning to locate him and to check various residences in the Northeast that we believe that he might be at.
Is there any more information on where exactly the woman was shot, where about she was shot?
She was shot once in the stomach and twice in the legs.
Do you know, was the domestic conflict unit involved in their case in particular?
I'm sorry, which
Was the
case?
domestic conflict team?
Yeah, currently the domestic conflict unit is leading the investigation with 2 of their members, and they're being supported by 2 detectives from the 5 district office.
And had they previously been involved? You know, like how generally when there's a domestic, they get involved and try to proactively.
Absolutely. You know, as always, whenever a domestic violence occurrence happens in the city of Calgary, our domestic conflict unit reviews each one of the cases and makes sure that the intervention has been appropriate and the charges are required and appropriate for the circumstance. So a number of layers of review does occur with each and every one of these incidents.
Was anyone else living in the home, or was it just him?
It was just the victim.
You guys can't give us a name, but what about a description of this gentleman?
I can't give you that right now as well. What I can tell you is that we're currently concentrating a lot of our efforts to try and locate him this afternoon and as well as this morning. So when those charges are approved and we can go forward with that, then we'll gladly give you a name and description and also any vehicles if they're associated.
And on the press release, you guys said that the victim was 58, or 59, and the suspect was 53. When you said it was 58 and 52.
That's correct. Well, the birthdays are about a month away, so we had approximated. So the victim is 58 years of age, and the offender is 52 years of age.
You believe he's in the Northeast right now? Is that-
Well, we can tell you a tremendous amount of investigation has gone on this morning, if you can just appreciate that. And our best information is that he's currently in the Northeast, and we're concentrating our efforts to that degree.
Can you get into why the name isn't being released, what the protocol is in releasing the name?
As always, we're very, very concerned and, of course, very cautious that we want to complete our investigation, and it supports the right charges to be laid, and with consultation with the Crown as well. These are serious charges. This is a very serious matter. So we want to make sure that our investigation complements the types of charges that we're about to lay, and that we're doing it expeditiously, but we're going to be well on our way by this afternoon.
Is there a concern, though, that if he is armed, that releasing his name might help others who might know who he is to lead you to him?
Well, until charges are approved, we cannot release the name of an individual that's connected with this case, so that is protocol. Any other questions?
In terms of the victim, in terms of her condition now, have you managed to make contact with her? Is she able to speak?
Members of
How
our,
do you expect that?
yes, thanks. And members of our domestic conflict unit were at the hospital this morning, and they were able to speak with her post-surgery. So we've been able to clarify some of her concerns and also get the details of what actually transpired prior to police arrival.
With the other incident that happened yesterday in the Northeast, has there been any sort of update charges laid in that one?
I don't have any details for that incident. We've concentrated on just this one for now. So just as a follow-up to one of the questions that was raised, we're very concerned whenever somebody's armed in the community following a serious incident like this. Of course, that's very concerning to us. And as always, this man is chargeable now. So if we locate him in the next few minutes, of course, he's under arrest, and we're going to be taking him downtown for processing. It's just, you know, having warrants on the system, that's always our next step. Our very best step, of course, is to locate him directly and as soon as possible.
So basically, just because the warrants
Did that make sense?
Are
Okay.
you able to talk just in general about how concerning it is when domestic violence such as this escalates to gun violence or injuries like this one recently?
Absolutely. Domestic violence is concerning, of course, in a big city like Calgary. We have hundreds of complaints that get called into us on an annual basis, and we take each one very seriously. There are so many layers of intervention that occurs for everything from holding the offender responsible to finding the right amount of resources to provide to the victim and to get their lives back on track. So we're very, very concerned in that respect.
When it escalates to this level though, in hindsight, do you guys do a bit of a review to say, okay, did we have the right?
I can assure you that because of this incident, this matter is going to be completely reviewed, as well as the two other incidences where he was brought before Justice of the Peace and released.
Do you think he should have been on the streets in the first place?
Well, that's not my opinion to make, unfortunately. We have the judiciary, and they are responsible for releasing offenders back into the community.